Hello humans, welcome back to St. Kalle. You can see that we have progressed on just a few months since the last episode. Kept running into an issue where we did not have any contracts available inside of the menu. So I have gone ahead and checked some things out, and I think the reason that was happening is because we were playing with seasonal growth on. So I have gone ahead and made a change to our settings and actually gone ahead and turned seasonal growth off. I'm hoping that in doing so, that means that we will not be running into any other instances where we don't have contracts for months on end like we just did. So hopefully with seasonal growth off, things will still be growing and needing to be harvested and things of that nature as we progress forward, rather than what is seemingly going on where we have 2 or 3 months to where we can't even do anything like working on a contract. So hopefully we have figured that out, but for right now we do have a weeding contract that we have accepted down in field number 11, so we are making our way there right now to start weeding that field and bring in a little bit of money to the farm. This contract is not large in the price that we will be bringing in, but any money is good money. You can see there up in the right hand corner, we are at $31,000, almost $32,000 in the bank. So slowly but surely, we are bringing in some good money to that farm bank account, working our way closer to owning all of the fields on this map. So here you go. You can see field 11 right here in front of us. Has quite a bit of weeds in it, so we are going to get this weeder unfolded here and get into position and start to make our way around the field. This is a larger field than I was anticipating given the price, but I'm hoping that because of the working width of this weeder here, that we'll still be able to make pretty quick work of this field. So we have progressed on to March. Unfortunately, like I was talking about earlier, we did not have any contracts for the last 3 months, but that's okay. We are not working on a timeline here trying to own the map. We are just working our way as the contracts come available. I believe we actually harvested this field earlier in one of our episodes, so back to field 11 to continue working and continue to grow that bank account as we continue to work our way towards owning the map. But we are going to work our way around the headland of this field here, and then what I actually want to do is jump out, well, not jump out, but jump back into the menu and see if there's another contract that may have come available, just to see, is it possible for us to run 2 contracts at once? This field is definitely a worker friendly field, and this setup here with this weeder and this tractor seems to be doing a really good job. So maybe that is something that we can put onto a worker, not have any issues with, and complete a couple different contracts at the same time. So let's go ahead and jump back in. Nope, the only one we have available is our weeding contract. So you can see only $991 to weed this entire field, but hey, it's almost another $1,000 in the bank account. So we're going to continue working here. We will see you in a little bit. Okay, we are making quick work of the field here. We have gotten, I believe, over 50%. Yep, 55% of this contract taken care of. It seems like a pass up and then back down the field is about 10% of the contract, and we are able to pull this here at 9 miles per hour, which is great. So we are going to just continue working through the field here. I understand that I still have not come up with a way of showing exactly just how far we have come with getting towards owning the map. I am still working on ways as I'm editing videos to show that. I have come up with a few that I just don't like kind of how they are showing or how they present themselves. So I am still in the lab looking at ways of showing you that, but I promise that is coming sometime soon. I want to be able to show you all who are taking time to watch these videos, which is greatly appreciated, kind of where we're at. I want you to kind of know where things stand and just how close we are, or right now rather how far we are from our goal of owning this map. But if you have any ideas of how to show that in these videos, I'd love for you to drop a comment below and let me know what you think the best way to show our progress as we go. I've thought about a static status bar, kind of that stays the whole time. Is it something that we do just as we complete a contract that shows the updated kind of capacity, almost like with our notification up there in the right that you're seeing right now, that keeps us up to date. I'm having issues with my keyboard right now, as you probably saw in the time lapse, that it is not always registering my key presses, and I'm struggling to get this implement raised and lowered as I turn around. But back to what I was talking about, yeah, do we want it to be a static bar that stays the entire time just as we bring in money? Is it just the beginning of an episode, just the end of an episode? So those are kind of all the things that have been swimming around in my head as I've been trying to figure out the best way to do it. So let me know below if any of those sound good, or which one sounds the best, and I'll take that into consideration. Or if you have other ideas, would love to hear those. But yeah, we are just going to continue working here, making, like I said earlier when we came back from the time lapse, really quick work of the field here. We will take this one all the way to completed, not just to 100%, since this setup seems to be working. So we're going to go ahead and finish up this field, and we will see you once we complete this contract. Alright, almost finished with this field. You probably saw that we did get the 100% completion notification of the contract, but seeing as we only have a little bit left, we're going to finish this entire field off for this wonderful farmer here, and then head back up to the store. So there we go. That is this contract 100% completed. So we're going to go ahead and get this folded up here and make our way back to the store, get this equipment returned, and see what is next on the docket for March. All right, back into town. We're gonna make our way to the store, get this equipment dropped off, and collect our contract payment. I'm really hoping that there are now additional contracts ready for us to accept, as it is early on in the day here in March. Definitely want to be capitalizing on the good weather and the early time, so hopefully there's something in the menu. If there is not, we might progress to later on in the day and see if anything pops up. So here we go. Jump into the menu. Unfortunately, no, it looks like there is nothing, but hey, we have finished our weeding contract. Unfortunately, it looks like that lease cost was more than half of the total here. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and collect that and bring in at least a little bit of money to the farm. So only $418 for that contract. Not great, but hey, better than nothing. So that then makes me think, let's go ahead and check out the sale here. Is there anything that is enticing? Yes, definitely, but we don't have any money. So it'd be great to have our own tractor or this fertilizer spreader, but no, none of that is within our price range, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward time a little bit and see if any contracts pop up as we get closer to the afternoon. All right, there we are. We have fast forwarded to the afternoon and we have a ton of contracts available to us. This is amazing to see. So fertilizing contracts, I do think are going to be great for us. We definitely want to knock these out if possible. The only thing is that we also have to buy fertilizer when we do these. But I think that we can knock these all out rather quickly, and then we actually have some sowing contracts as well. So looks like here we are planting barley and soybeans, but again, we would have to buy the seeds for that. So field 3 and field 11, let's just go right back to field 11. We have harvested that field, we have weeded that field. Let's go ahead and fertilize that field as well. So we're going to accept that contract, but we want to borrow those items. So there we go. Let's go ahead and jump into the menu, and we are going to be spending some of our hard-earned money here on fertilizer. Feels weird and feels wrong to actually spend some money as we are trying to bring in as much money as we possibly can. But that is kind of the name of the game. All of the contracts that we have here today require us to spend money either on fertilizer or on seeds. So I'm going to try to get lined up here and get connected. There we go. I don't know how much this spreader actually holds, so let's go ahead and just buy one bag of fertilizer for $1,800, so more than what we brought in on that last contract of $400, and about half of what this contract will be. So not great to be spending all of that money, but the nice part is that we will hold on to this fertilizer as we progress through the series. So let's go ahead and just buy, let's buy 4. We're going to spend $5,400, which just hurts. Seeing that bank account back down to 23,000 is not great, but we're going to get this filled up. Like I said, we'll be able to keep the fertilizer. This just gives us the opportunity to do more of these fertilizing contracts today, because whatever we don't use, we own, and that means we can use it on another fertilizing contract. So there we go, 5,000 liters in this spreader. we are going to start with that. I really hope that that is enough. We're going to make our way back to field 11, so heading back to just where we came from, and hopefully we can get this taken care of before the rain comes. Oh yeah, the rain's not coming until about 7 p.m. tonight, so we definitely have some time before that rain starts to knock this contract out, and hopefully at least one, maybe two more would be great. I'm not sure what the working width is on this, but the spreader looks quite large, so hopefully we can knock out this contract rather quickly. So we're going to make our way back to field 11, which you all know exactly what it looks like, and start fertilizing that field. At this point, it feels like we own field 11 with the amount of work that we have done in it, but that is fine. The name of the game is contracts only, so we're going to keep working contracts here in March. Here we are, back at familiar field 11. Let's go ahead and get to the end up here. We'll spin around, back ourselves into our spot here, and we're gonna go ahead and just see how wide this spreader distribution is. Oh wow, that is quite the width here, so we are going to be able to knock this out really quick. You can still see that we are starting with 55% fertilizer in the field here. We are going to not consume this that fast, which is looking great. We're already 10% completed with this contract. So we're going to zoom around this field here, knock this out, hopefully as quick as it is seeming like we are going to, and then collect our payment. All right, that was quite easy for us as we were working through that field. We were having a internal conversation about how we want to handle fertilization contracts, specifically because we are paying for the fertilizer. So we are actually going to finish the contract as soon as we see the contract finished notification up there in the right, like we just saw. So yes, we missed some bits, and yes, we left some there to be completed, but we have made the internal decision that moving forward in this series, if we are spending money to complete contracts, so fertilization contracts, sowing contracts where we have to buy seeds, we are actually going to finish those contracts out as soon as we get the notification. So that will be another twist on this series here, but I think that is fair. We are trying to save up as much money as possible, and you can see exactly how much we left there in field 11. It was not that much, and the nice part is when we finish this contract and accept our payment, that field is going to be completely fertilized for that farmer there. So it's not like us not doing it is going to impact their yield or anything like that. So let me know down below in the comments if you think that is a fair rule for us to follow, that if we are spending our hard-earned money to complete the contract, that we should be able to finish the contract quote-unquote early and save some additional money rather than finishing it out, because we spent a significant chunk of change on fertilizer to start this contract, but you can see that we still have 4,400 liters of fertilizer, so we grossly overestimated the amount of fertilizer that we would need, which means we definitely spent more money than we needed to. But I think the nice thing is that we will be able to get in here. I'm going to pull as close to the back as I can, and then we want to unload all of our, there we go, we've got 5 pallets of our fertilizer here, so 487, and then 4 full 1,000 liter pallets here. But let's go ahead and jump into the menu here and go ahead and collect that $2,948. So we definitely haven't made our money back yet, but what we are going to do is we are going to borrow items and just knock out all of these fertilizer contracts here. Hopefully they stay in the menu. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think that we can use the items from one contract on another. I think they have to be, so for instance, could I have kept that equipment, not returned it, and used it by accepting another contract and not borrowing items? I'm not 100% sure. So if you know that answer, let me know below. Can I use borrowed items on a second field, or can you only use items on the field that you are doing that contract for? I'm unsure how that works, but what we are going to do is we're going to put 3,000 liters in here. I'm assuming that is more than we actually need. Doesn't look like we need the weight, as this contract, or this is not going to be full, so it's not going to be lifting up the front of our tractor here. And we are going to pull up the menu because we already forgot what field we're doing. We're doing field number 3, so we're going to make our way to field number 3 and get that fertilized. That field looks to be smaller than field 11 was, so hopefully it will be an even quicker contract for us and we'll bring some money back in, and I think break even or around break even from buying all this fertilizer and knocking out all of these contracts. But I think this is our field right here. It is. We're going to get into position, and here we go. We are fertilizing field number 3. So we're going to make 4 passes up and down this field to finish it out. So we are going to be done really quick. The spreader is great, knocking down this width of fertilization is really helping us speed through these contracts. I love episodes when we're able to do multiple contracts on the same day, multiple different types of contracts. I know we've done a couple fertilization here back to back. We're probably going to do some more fertilization. We bought all that fertilizer. Why the heck would we not continue to do fertilization contracts? Man, field 2 is a small field. We will have to remember that for the future. If there is anything that we need to do and field 2 pops up, that would be a quick field for us to finish a contract in. But yeah, we're going to continue to make our way around field 3 here, getting it completely fertilized. We're going to get back to the store, make some money, and then probably accept those last 2 fertilizing contracts and knock those out as well. Brings us in a nice chunk of change here in our March afternoon, after having nothing in the contract to having multiple contracts in the menu and multiple fertilization contracts. It is nice to be making the money back on buying all that fertilizer, but we'll make 1, maybe 2 more passes here in the field and be done with this contract. All right, we have to be getting close. We got the 85%, and there it is. We were close. Contract on field 3 finished. So we are gonna make our way back up to the store. That was a nice, easy, and quick contract for us, just like we thought it would be. We started with 3,000 liters in the tank here, and you can see we still have over 2,500 liters of fertilizer, so did not even take 500 liters of fertilizer. So we definitely overpaid for fertilizer, bought way more than we needed, but hey, it'll come in handy in the future. It's going to come in handy here for the rest of March. We are going to, oh, sorry, van. We are going to unload this, complete this contract, and then borrow items and knock out those next 2 fertilization contracts. So let's go ahead and unload those, jump into the menu, and we want to collect that payment. So $2,500 there. We are going to borrow items, and you know exactly what we're going to do. We are going to fertilize another field. So let's go ahead here, grab this fertilizer spreader. If I could drive, I could grab the fertilizer spreader. There we go. We're going to get backed up and get filled up here with some fertilizer from our stockpile. Let's see, can it hold 1,500 liters without needing the weight? It definitely can. All right, so field 13 is, let's see, where is it? Okay, so not too far of a drive, not too large of a field. Looks like it is probably about the same size field as 3, just a little bit different dimensions. So we are going to make our way to field 3 and fertilize another field. But these fertilizer contracts are coming in really clutch for us here. This is going to be some great money back into the account. We will end up keeping some fertilizer that we will continue to be able to use in future months, which will be great. We are working for these wonderful farmers here in St. Kalle, getting some fertilizer into their fields before the rain starts here in March, which is just great for them, for their fields. So yeah, everybody is happy right now. So I will see you once we are at field number 13. Right, here we are, field number 13. So let's go ahead. How large of a spreader? Oh my gosh. This little spreader has an even wider working width than what we were using before with the trailer. This is going to be so quick for us. We are going to be able to knock out this field in just 2 passes. So, wow, it was great to accept a contract with this large of a spreader here. And we will be able to finish this up so quickly. And I think because of how great this width is, we are actually going to take a gamble and accept the contract, the last of the fertilization contracts in the menu, and see if we are able to use this spreader and tractor. Wow, if I could talk, we're going to try to use this spreader and tractor combination here to see if we can do that contract in another field. That's going to answer our question from earlier about if we can use the equipment that we borrowed from one contract to complete a second contract. So there we go. That is contract on field number 13 completed. So we were able to knock that out so quick. What I want to do is jump in here. We do have the chance of losing out on 1951. Wow, I am struggling to talk right now. Apologies. We are going to potentially miss out on about $1,900. It would take $290 2 to borrow, so about $1,600 or so by doing this. But we're going to go for it. We're going to try it. We're going to accept this contract on field number 8. So field number 8 is back by the store. So let's go ahead and get over to field number 8 and see, are we able to utilize this equipment that we are currently in to fertilize field number 8. So this was borrowed to work on a contract on field number 13, but I don't know. Will it let us use this equipment here to do a contract on field number 8? The error that pops up always just says this is reserved for contract work. It never says this is reserved for contract work in field number blah blah blah. So who knows? It might work, it might not. Like I said, we are taking a gamble, but that is totally fine. It would be a huge win for us if we were able to do this. It would be a bit of a bummer to lose out on some easy money, but that is fine. Here we go. Moment of truth. Can we turn on this spreader in field number 8? Oh my gosh, we can. What a huge win. This is so great for us to know. So now we know if we have a type of contract with multiples in the menu, so like we have those sewing contracts, we can borrow equipment for one of them and complete both types of contracts. So if one, say for instance, fertilizer spreader has a large working width like this one does, or we are working on a plowing contract and one of the plows that you can borrow is much larger than the others, we can actually utilize that plow on multiple fields rather than having to borrow and lose out on money from each of the contracts. So this is a huge development in our series here. We now know that we can save a little bit of money and not borrow items from every single contract if there are multiple of the same style of contract. So there we go. That is huge. That is a huge, huge, huge win for us. Now, as I'm saying that, I'm getting a little nervous that as we get back to the store here and complete those contracts, are we going to get paid for both of the contracts? I'm hoping that we did not just get so excited and fertilize field number 8 for no payment. I'm hoping that we are able to collect payment on both 13 and field number 8. So there we go. We've got all of our fertilizer there. Another moment of truth. So we are going to collect field 13 because that's the one that we borrowed the items for. So boom, $22,054 of income. All right, field number 8, where we used the borrowed equipment from field number 13. We're going to collect that, and we brought in $1951, which was the entire amount of that contract. That is a huge win. That is a huge win. So you can see, look, we have all these other fertilizing contracts. Oh, I did not even notice that before we put that back in. So we've got multiple sowing, multiple fertilizing contracts for our next episode to work on. It looks like most of the equipment down here is the same, but we could actually now jump into the menu and see, okay, what type of like here, we're getting a huge tractor, a huge planter or seeder, and all of these can be planted with the same type. So why wouldn't we borrow equipment like this for field number 16, which I know is the largest field here on the map, but it's going to help us out on these other fields. So we're going to borrow those items to sow field number 16, and we are going to do that in our next episode. So this is where we are going to end today's episode. We were able to complete multiple different contracts, found out a huge bit of information that is going to help us out moving forward. We are all the way back up to $32,000 in the bank account. we still have over 3,000 liters of fertilizer in our name, and we're ready to start attacking some seeding contracts in the next episode. So all in all, a great day here in March so far. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time as we continue to work our way towards owning the map.